Anybody that wants to dance one last time?
Last time to throw down, guys.
What does it mean to me? It means life. You know, it's part of life. It's just, it's like, you know, some people, they're used to the daily grind. Like, I guess, you know how some people are used to like shitting, going to the bathrooms like twice a day to go take a dump. Music is kind of like a part of that. It's like a part of my everyday life. Like taking a shit.
Music is the way like that I express a lot of things. Without music, how like I wouldn't be able to cope with a lot of things. Like I mean, life is hard enough. Music being the way that like, I get to be able to express myself, and like it's a stress reliever, honestly. Like,
I would love to make it as a musician, first and foremost. And if I were to choose any job in the entire world, I would choose to be a drummer in a successful band, because it's fun and you help other people to have fun.
Being in a band is the medium between the person and music. You don't have to be in a band to be in music. The reason why I'm in a band, personally, is because I like music, I love music, music has saved my life, but also I feel it completes it. Honestly, I can't picture myself without being or playing music.
My parents are both from Bangladesh. They moved here when they were in the 1980s, and in 1986, a tragic occurrence happened. I was born. And yeah, I've been traveling the world. I decided to move back to New York when I was 18 years old. Like, I was born in California, raised pretty much all over the world. And then, yeah, at 18, I chose to come to California. I came to New York in hopes of starting a band, pursuing college, all that sort of, you know, nonsense that you think of when you're 18 years old, I guess. Well, KVC, honestly, was an extension of a band I started when I was 14 years old. It was a punk band called Turd. Yes, Turd. I was in a band called Turd. Means shit. Our whole theory behind the name was, oh yeah, we were the shit. But truth be told, what other explanation can I give you other than we came up with a band name when we were 14 years old? Like, you know, really childish kids. Anyways, you know, I didn't live here, but like on a permanent basis, so it was kind of like every summer the band would get together and we'd work on music. And then when I was 18, I decided to make the band a real thing and actually have it work. So I moved to New York, and go figure, you know, I moved to New York and a year later, Turd breaks up. And so, you know, I scrambled looking for band members for a while. When I turned around 20 years old, I actually got a new band set together. But that didn't last too long with the whole Turd moniker, and then I ended up becoming the only original member of that band. So I pretty much decided to use some of the old songs from the old band, some of the new people that I was trying out for the band, and to start a new band. And that became Kentucky Vampire Clan. The band name came when I was reading a news article, and, you know, being drunk and stupid, I was like, yo, Kentucky Vampire Clan sounds pretty awesome, you know?
I met KVC when they were Turd. Well, the ending of Turd. Well, that sounds wrong. Foyz's old band's name was Turd. And when it was ending, he was the last member, the original member from that band, so then I remember he started KVC. Originally, I actually tried out for bass, and a friend of mine from high school tried out for guitar, and it didn't quite work out. So what ended up happening is we still stayed friends, chilling, whatever. We'd go to parties, I'd help him out. Basically, I was a roadie. And then next thing I know, the old bassist gets kicked out, and I'm like, and actually by this point, I actually stopped playing music altogether. So one day, me and Foyz were really drunk at a friend's house, and he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just quit the band, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. And I was like, I was retired. And I was like, yo, seriously, there's something there, don't. Like, if anything, I'll play bass until you find somebody else, but if I play bass for you guys, there's no bullshit. We have to get to work right away. And we decided that we were gonna have the CD release party for the first recording we did on my birthday. So we had a deadline and whatnot. And we recorded the entire CD, if you will, in a week. Vocals, bass, the whole nine, mastering in a week.
So we were this close to finishing recording a song, and for some reason, everything shut off, and we didn't save anything. A lesson we learned, always save your work. Shut up!
Oh yeah, Craigslist. That's how everybody gets together nowadays, right? I posted an ad because I wanted to do something new, something fun, something different. You know, with breakdowns and fucking all sorts of different things. It was the best time I ever had playing in a band. Was with KVC. Just it wasn't that long, but the moments were great. I wouldn't have traded it for any band that I've ever been in or could have been in at the time. It was fun. The guys were great. Met a lot of awesome people. I got experience playing stuff that I wasn't accustomed to playing. I got better.
The reason I choose to be in a band and try to do my own thing on the side is the fact that my band isn't co-workers. I don't count them as co-workers. They're basically a family, and they're all my brothers. They like, think about it. You gotta basically see these people. In my case, I see these people more than I see my own family. So if you don't like them or you're not even comfortable with them, why even be in a band? So the reason I'm in a band as opposed to anything else is because these guys are my closest friends. So it's a mix of both.
Thank you very much. Everyone. You guys should come in if you'd like. That would be amazing. We are KVC. And I got 2 hours of sleep.
There's so many different kinds of relationships. You know, no one relationship is the same. Like, you know, when people normally say, like, oh yeah, being in a band is like being in a relationship, they automatically assume, oh, it's so lovey-dovey. No, no. Some people are in relationships where it's strictly down to business. Like, oh yeah, honey, I'm home, let's fuck. All right, let's go back to work tomorrow morning. I won't see you for another week. Oh, honey, I'm home, let's fuck. All right? I say fuck a lot. Anyways. But, you know, there are different kinds of relationships, and then there's the ones that are really, really cuddly and comfy and stuff. And whether people want to agree with me or not, a real relationship is not a relationship if you don't fight. And in a band, you gotta fight. If you don't fight, it's not healthy. You're gonna suck, you're gonna compromise, and when you compromise, you suck. So you know what? If you hear me like, you know, bitching about that I don't like this part, or somebody bitches at me because I don't like a part and we argue about it, in the end of the day, it's all for a good cause. And sometimes that cause could even be like, oh yeah, I'm leaving the band. But you know, shit happens. What are you gonna do?
You like free stuff, right? I like free stuff. So just find one of us for CDs afterwards. We only have a few of them though. We have like what? This is a song called More Vivant. It means the living dead. We'll come down. We'll come down.
That's tough because I didn't want it to end. People weren't taking it as seriously as we should have taken it, myself included. But I don't know. It was just rough to get everybody in that band on the same page, music-wise, and direction-wise, and goal-wise.
It came down to a lot of things, like, but yeah, like I said, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but fact of the matter is, we had some great times in the band. A lot of fun things happened, but at the end of the day, it was, you know, it just got to a point where I personally felt like, you know, this was pointless. It was like, it wasn't working. We weren't getting anywhere. Like, you know, it was kind of staying in one place.
People knew the band name but never heard us, and we were associated with so much like negative drama that it just seemed useless at the time. It seemed like me and Foyza were actually talking about trying to mend bridges, but it just seemed totally futile at the time.
You know, if you suck, if you start sucking, then, you know, you can bitch about being sucking, but when you're stuck in a stagnant state where it's like, oh yeah, you sound the same, you act the same, you know, people get bored. And I'm not only talking about fans, I'm talking about the band itself. I got bored. And it just came to a point in my life where I was like, yo, I need to do something else, you know?
Before it's weird, like how the way I work, everything is like a roller coaster. Like when you're, well, pre-roller coaster, if you will. It's like you're online and it's like a 30-minute wait for like a 3-second ride, which I always found stupid. But it's like I'm online waiting to get on a roller coaster, and it doesn't bug me until I'm like next to get on. And that's when like everything just starts like, just hits me. So honestly, throughout the entire day, I didn't really feel anything or care it, honestly. It didn't hit me. And then when we're setting up, and I'm actually setting up my bass, tuning the bass, getting everybody ready, doing sound check. Well, yeah, then it obviously hit me, but I was definitely sad to see it go. Definitely sad to see it go. But also, I felt that, because by this, we already knew what we were doing. So I was definitely sad to see it go, but hopeful for the rest. And it was weird, like, everybody that was there, like, most people that were there never even saw us before. They just heard of us, and it was funny that we played to, ironically enough, our last show, we played to a totally different crowd. And I found that interesting, which means that the bad publicity, the saying is right, any publicity is good publicity. So it was interesting, but it was depressing. It definitely was depressing.
To be quite honestly, it was really fun. You know, it was in many ways, like, I guess, like, we anticipated it to be quite big and quite large. It wasn't as large as we anticipated it to be, but in a way that kind of made me really happy, because it was kind of like, you know, a nod to KVC's roots. Like, we kind of started out playing these really small gigs and stuff. You know, just to have that feeling that some people walked away as KVC fans was great. And that was really amazing about the last show, when it was the last show, but KVC made new fans, which is kind of funny. That KVC makes new fans, like, on our last show. So it was pretty funny. It got nostalgic. It was pretty awesome. People were singing, people that, you know, I had never seen before in my life were singing along to my songs. That was an intense feeling, you know, and I could basically put away KVC being happy with just that, and back to lunch.
Alright. Are you ready? Wait, I gotta put this. Oh man, every time I. Alright, go, I'll jump in.
No, like I told Forzo when I started playing, is like, I did see something there, and I still do, but it's something that, kind of like a phoenix theory, it had to die to get better.
I really miss playing those songs, and I miss our old band members. But to get a new project going and bring new stuff to the table with new talent is always fun, especially when they're good people.
Thing. I just got a text from Joe randomly. Actually, I texted Joe and he was like, "Hey man, you want to jam in my house in Long Island?" And it's like, "Okay, cool, yeah, I'll jam." And then that was his, like, me finding out about this whole little thing going on right now. And I found out what the like, kind of like what the idea of the band was going to be, and it's like, hey man, it's a different thing. So like, I'd rather be in something it's way totally more unique than all the generic things that are going on right now than just sit around and like play some generic style. Like, I just thought it was something cool to do.
Why start a new band instead of just not? Why not? We just felt it had to be done. It not had to be done. It'd be the lesser of two evils, perhaps, and ultimately better for the music itself, because a band is just a fucking vehicle. It's just a vehicle that carries the music from the makers to the audience, if you will. So just because you're changing the car doesn't mean you're going to change the passengers. So we just decided that since everybody else was judging us because of the old vehicle, to change the vehicle.
Right now, I mean, I think we can actually possibly get somewhere, because I've actually like looked into it. I have not seen anyone actually do the type of music that we're doing right now. So I see it as, yeah, people are gonna be like, this is really random and all that kind of thing, but it'll just be something new and people will just catch on to it in that kind of sense.
It's good shit, man. I mean, with the combination of talent here, I mean, the stuff that's coming out is fucking good. It's up my alley. I like it.
Like, like everyone is a really dedicated musician. That's the whole reason why I'm playing with these guys, because I don't have to like be like, oh yeah, we need to practice. It's like coming at everyone. Everyone knows without practice, there's nothing is gonna happen without any of practice. I mean, like everyone in the band is creative, so it's just a good experience working with these guys.
With this new band, and I stress the word new band because I don't want people to be like, oh hey look, it's KVC. No, this is a totally new band. Yeah, some of the faces you're gonna see in the band are familiar, but then again, some faces you're not gonna be so familiar with. And the music in itself is gonna be something you're not gonna be familiar with. And I'm really looking forward to actually getting this show on the road.